is opening an investigation into how cable TV does its pricing. Well, if the Democrats take the White House and Capitol Hill, a lot of one-sided legislation could get pushed through. Will this be good or bad for the country? Here to debate this and other issues from Memphis, we have Ben Fergusen. Ben, of course, is the youngest nationally syndicated radio talk show host, but he makes up for it in his wisdom. With me here also is Marc Lamont Hill, assistant professor of urban education and American studies at Temple University, and he made a valiant attempt to come to New York, but Amtrak was not cooperating, so he joins us from Philadelphia. Good to see both of you.
Thanks for having us.
I had to pull my ticket for Bob Barr.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Marc, let me begin with you. What in Obama's history as a legislator makes you think that he would have to give any concern at all to what the Republicans want if he gets a supermajority in the House and the Senate?
Well, when you look at what Barack Obama has done at the state level and in his short time in the U.S. Senate, and when you look at what he said he wants to do, he's been openly, admittedly, in many ways, an economic centrist. You know, well, some people would say that he's as far left radical. He said, look, I support free trade. I support global capitalism. I support the free market. And while he certainly is further to left than McCain, that's in fact probably an extravagant understatement, the point here is that he's not going to take the party in this sharp left turn that many people anticipate. And it's because of that that you can expect, you can expect that a veto-free Congress would still be good for the country and good for the Republicans, even if they don't know it yet.
All right.
Mark,
well, Ben, as Mark once told me, Obama's nowhere near as left-wing as I am. So you got to put things, everything is relative compared to Marc Lamont Hill.
That's right.
But Ben, I got to ask you, everything is relative these days because you have a Republican president who has partially nationalized our financial institutions in the United States. So what more could Obama do to nationalize the country that Bush hasn't already done?
I mean, a ton more. You look at how liberal he is. He goes out and unabashedly says to the American people that I am going to take from those that make money and give to the people that don't have money. That is a extremely liberal idea. And when you've got the votes to back it up with the leadership of those like Nancy Pelosi, who without a doubt believes this, I mean, if you get a supermajority in there, this man could ramrod anything through he wants to. And you got to look at what he hasn't done.
Hold on. Let's be specific, Ben. Like what? Give us a specific of how his philosophy, that you two can argue about some other time, but how would his philosophy translate into specific policy?
Well, I think you look at one simple issue that affects every American, and that is taxes. He said that he was not going to raise taxes on anyone that made under $250,000 a year. Then that number in their own ad went to $200,000 a year. Then that number went last week to $150,000 a year from a guy named Joe Biden, who said it on the record that it was $150,000 on TV in an article and in his own hometown with a local reporter. So if that number has already dropped six figures in, let's say, a week and a half, imagine when he actually looks at his budget what he may do. He may say, you know what?
In fairness to the record, I think Mark would probably say this anyway. I think Biden later, the Obama-Biden camp said he misspoke, and in fact there would be that 200,000 level.
Even if he is that much of a slickster, surely he could wait till after the election to drop the tax rate in half. I mean, clearly it was a mistake. You know, the reality here is that Barack Obama...
Explain to me how it goes from 250 to 200 in his own ad. I think what you have here is you have the reality that once election day comes and goes,
guys, one at a time. Mark, go ahead.
What it is that people making $200,000 or less will have a tax drop. Those between $200,000 and $250,000, it will not go up. It's a distinction there. But nobody under $250,000 will have a tax hike.
Okay, we got that on the record. But Mark, I got to ask you a specific question now about the purpose of this segment. What issue, if Obama becomes president and there's a supermajority of Democrats, on what issue might the Democrats throw the Republicans a bone?
I'll answer for him. There's not one.
Let me give you. That's to Mark. Go ahead, Mark.
No, I can answer for myself, Ben. I think one issue might be the drilling issue. Barack Obama has already said that he's open to drilling as a small part of a broader project. If Barack Obama were in this by himself and could make all decisions by himself, he would be anti-drilling. But he said he will concede. He said he will concede drilling
Ben,
as long as he
there's one issue. Go ahead, Ben.
That's a concrete point. He may have to do that since he said he's going to bankrupt the coal industry and tax them to death. So there may be some truth to that. But I don't think there's going to be many bones.
I'm glad we agree,
because you have your leadership in the House and the Senate that is, in theory, more liberal, and I didn't know that was possible, than Barack Obama. This man's going to have the leadership pushing issues that he may be able to say, I got to sign it because they're making me do it.
Mark, I got to ask you on the issue of debt, and again, the debt of this administration speaks for itself. It is ballooned because of all the spending that has gone on, particularly in the last couple of months. But what is Obama planning to do to deal with that debt, and how might he enlist the help of Republicans?
You know, well, first, let me say, and I'll be quite honest, while I support Barack Obama over John McCain, I have some critiques of Barack Obama, one of which is I don't think he's been clear or articulate enough about how he's going to handle this budget issue. What he has said, though, is that he will go line by line and have a spend-as-we-go plan so that he can continue to sort of push forward certain social agendas without bankrupting the nation.
Hold on a second. That might have been a Freudian slip. I think it's pay as you go.
Thank
Mark.
you.
That's what I just said.
Excuse me.
I did. What did I say? Spend as you go?
You said spend as you go,
Spend
which is what politicians always do.
That's
Go ahead.
that one from
That's
radio show
McCain's plan. I'm reading McCain's talking points by accident. I think McCain is a spend as you go guy.
Oh, me, oh, my.
Go ahead, Ben.
You look at this at the end of the day, and you've got a guy who has a whole lot of government programs, and he said he's going to help a lot of people with their housing, with the price that they're going to pay for gasoline. He said he's going to help you with your car notes and your house notes and everything else. And if he plans on doing any of this, all I know is he's going to have to work, and it's certainly not going to be the Republicans to get it done. It's going to be with the far extreme left and Nancy Pelosi.
One more issue, guys, that I want to deal with, and it's critical because it might have caused the Depression in the 1930s. Trade. We had a terrible trade law that was passed by Herbert Hoover, a Republican, by the way, that led to the, or at least helped lead to the Depression. Now, Obama has been very critical of certain trade agreements, Mark. Is he going to press that, or will we remain an open trading country?
Well, you know, again, you know, I'm an anti-free trade guy. So you're speaking to somebody from the fringe.
Yeah, you support the Depression. You're in favor of depressionary policies.
Yes, I am pro-depression.
Right.
Right. Since we're being ridiculous, yeah, I'm pro-depression. But no, the issue here for me is how can we enact trade policies? This is Barack's issue, rather. How can we enact trade policies that are fair to American workers? How can that be linked to a tax policy that incentivizes companies to stay here and create jobs? Those are the two issues here.
Mark.
Barack Obama is let me finish this point. Barack Obama is for open trade. Barack Obama is for free trade. He simply wants more humane but also just policies for American workers. So
Mark,
I don't think Barack Obama is going to eliminate that.
Now it's Ben's turn. Go ahead, Ben.
What's he against is what I want to know. I mean, the guy isn't on the record on anything. He doesn't vote in the Senate. He doesn't tell us what his trade policy is, which you said, not me. You said it. He doesn't tell you what he's going to do with tax or the budget, per se. He didn't tell us what he would have done or would not have done with the bailout. He just said, I'll give you my plan later. This man terrifies me because I don't know what he's going to do on anything. And the scary thing is you as a Democrat don't know either.
Okay, a heated debate, but a very respectful one. Gentlemen, we got to leave it at that. Ben Ferguson,
Thanks.
Marc Lamont Hill, you guys are great. Please come back and see us soon.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. Well, the markets so far are breaking with history.